Hey YouTube, this is Farabi from Faratech, and today I will give you an in-depth review of Walton Primo NX3. Before we look at the device, let's see what we get for 16,490 taka. We get a nice redesigned box, USB wall charger, USB Type-C cable, a silicone back cover, a screen protector, warranty card, a pair of headphones, and the phone itself. Feature-wise, this phone is packed, but we will talk more about that later. The headphones that this phone comes with is actually very good. It's nice that they provide a back cover and a screen protector with it. Now let's have a closer look at the phone. The phone is very thin. The phone has plastic build, but of good quality. It does not feel cheap at all, and in fact, it has a good feel to it. Everyone who has seen the phone actually really liked the look. Personally, I like the blue version better, but that's just personal preference. The back part is removable. That exposes two SIM slots, the memory card slot, and the 3150 mAh lithium polymer battery. We also see the single LED flash and the camera, more on that later. The front of the phone is protected by 3rd generation Corning Gorilla Glass, which protects the screen from scratches, so the screen protector is not really that necessary. I also noticed that it feels surprisingly good to touch. I had a low-end HTC phone before whose screen felt very tacky to touch, and the Mi 3 feels a lot better, but this actually feels quite different and it feels a lot smoother, and I noticed it immediately. It also has double tap to wake and sleep and smart gesture feature. But I found myself using the lock button more as it was positioned perfectly, but it might come in handy for other people. The screen is 720p 5.5 inch with 267 dots per inch. Not amazing, and I certainly noticed the drop in pixels coming from a 1080p 5-inch display. But using it for a day, I didn't notice it anymore. In fact, I started enjoying the colors coming from the Super AMOLED display. The rich colors and the deep blacks do indeed make up for the lost pixels. But when I first got the phone, I thought it was very dim, and I hated it. But I looked into the settings and it had an energy efficiency mode on, which dims the pixels so it's still very dim with max brightness. Turn that off and the display comes to life. But I can see how it may save battery. The top has the earpiece and a multicolored notification light. It's actually very bright. Let's talk about the battery life. I am very impressed by it. I am already used to the amazing battery life of Mi 3, but this lasts even longer. With fewer pixels and pixels that turn off altogether when there is no color present, coupled with good software optimization, the battery lasts forever. I always have Wi-Fi on, and after 12 hours of no use with Wi-Fi on, it only lost 1% charge. That's an impressive feat for an Android device. But if you need even longer battery, say you are at 10% and cannot get to your charger for a while, then there is a nifty feature here that essentially turns your smartphone into a feature phone called Extreme Mode. It is found in the quick toggle area. It will only let you use the phone app, the contacts app, clock app, and messaging in the most minimalist form possible. It is handy when you need your phone to stay alive for a few more hours until you can find a charger. Speaking of, the USB Type-C allows the device to be charged quite quickly. Now, I only noticed a difference with the wall adapter. With PC, however, it was same as regular USB. This phone also has OTG support, but USB Type-C is a very new technology, and OTG for USB Type-C is not widely available in Bangladesh, and it would be very nice if Walton provided an OTG cable for USB Type-C. The speakers being positioned at the back isn't going to win any awards, but it's surprisingly loud even when it is facing down at the table. Now let's talk about the camera. The camera is quite capable. The camera app is full of features that allow you to capture images any way you want. There is your normal mode, which means the camera will use the settings it thinks is the best for the situation. But if you know a thing or two about cameras, the professional mode will let you change the exposure by manipulating the ISO and the shutter speed. The shutter speed control actually lets you use a 14-second shutter, which will allow you to have creative long exposure photos. This camera also has an aperture of f2.0, which will help you take better photos at lower light and give you a bit more background blur. Other than that, there is face beauty to soften the image, to hide blemishes, a sort of a burst mode where it takes multiple pictures and keeps the best one, magic focus which adds blur after the image is taken to make it look like it was taken with a pro camera, filters, panorama, night mode, pick node, which is a very nice feature. It's like those apps that turn pages into PDFs, but it's built in. A smart mode. One of the cool camera features is the ultra pixel mode. The sensor is capable of producing 13 megapixel images, but what ultra pixel does is it takes multiple shots, combines them to make a 64 megapixel image, and it works. I don't know if it is actual 64 megapixels, but the images are much larger and more detailed, but you cannot shoot moving subjects. Also, there's a 5 megapixel front cam. It's good, but it's not the best. It produces very good detail shots when there's enough light, but it struggles a little bit in lower light situations. This phone is OTA supported, so in case there is an update available, you can have it without connecting it to a computer. It comes equipped with Android Lollipop 5.1, and I have not noticed any major bugs. The UI is, I think, called Chameleon OS, but I'm not exactly sure. But it does not have an app drawer, but I like it that way, coming from MIUI. There are some nice built-in apps such as Torch with emergency SOS signal, Chameleon app that lets you choose 2 colors with the camera to set a system color, Theme Park which lets you set different themes, wallpapers and clocks. There is also a system manager which you can use to clean cache memory, manage battery and set data limit. There's also some fun features such as fake call. This is a fun feature and it might help you get out of awkward situations. Excuse me, I have to take this call. Yeah, hello? Let's see some benchmark scores now. I will have a separate video to show a few more benchmarks, but here is a basic CPU benchmark and here is a graphics benchmark. This has a Nanomark score of 57.7 FPS, which I think is pretty good. Now let's see some real world gaming. I will have a separate gaming video, but here I will only show one game. Now I'm gonna play Real Racing 3 and I think it is the most CPU and GPU intensive game there is for Android, and it is probably the best looking game there is. And as you can see, it struggles a little bit playing this game, but I have not noticed any sort of lagging with any other game. This is the only game that this phone struggled a little bit with, but it was not unplayable at all. It was smooth, but showing some animations, it stuttered a little bit. So that's a review guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by liking this video and saying so in the comment section below. If you didn't, please let me know how I can improve by leaving a comment down below. And more videos along with Walton GH5 review coming up really soon. So don't forget to subscribe to Faratech YouTube channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.